All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It is Tuesday, April 16th. We got the play-in game of the Kings and the Warriors to dive into in today's video. If you missed it, we have the Lakers and the Pelicans video out already. At the time of this going out, you should probably have the MLB video available to you as well. So tons of content on the channel here. But in this video, we're diving into this specific game, the 9-10 matchup here. So this is literally a win or go home matchup. The winner will then have to play the winner. The winner will have to play the loser of the Pelicans and Lakers game. But whoever loses this game is gone. The Kings start at, finish the season as the 9 seed here, but they actually come into this game as the underdogs, opening up at +1. Now we're looking at a +2.5 spread for them. The total at 223. I do have a spread lean as well as a total lean, and then a few player props to talk about here in today's video. But as always, guys, everything we talk about is what I'm liking right now for the game. But keep an eye on the pinned comment for any of my final plays, so I'm actually going to lock in myself, or if something changes or updates, keep an eye on that pinned comment. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into this game. Like I said, tons of content today, so make sure you are subscribed, hitting that like button as well. We have some live streams planned for some watch parties for some of these games, so turn that notification bell on so you guys don't miss those live streams, because we may not be given too much notice. I like the idea of not the idea of, but I like when we go live and people are like, I had no idea. It's like, there it is. I'm trying to get you to turn that bell on. But no, honestly, sometimes we're just like, hey, screw it, let's go live. There's no strategy behind it. But let's go ahead and dive into this game, guys. Like I said, Kings at home near +2.5 as the 9 seed. Total at 223. In terms of where my lean is going to go, and I think it's going to be the public play today, which is kind of unfortunate, but I'm going to lean towards Golden State. They have the experience. They finished off the season playing well. These two teams played 4 times this year. They split the season series. Just overall, I look at this and I say, you have a Kings team who, their injury, Malik Monk, I think is actually a pretty big deal to them, whereas Gary Payton doesn't necessarily, I mean, good player, but doesn't affect the Warriors as much as I think Monk being able to come off the bench there. And same thing with even like her being banged up. Like I just don't necessarily see this Kings team putting it all together for a deep playoff run, or even a playoff run at that. But like I said, I'm pretty sure this is going to be an absolute public play today. So call me Chalky Ev. We're taking a very experienced and very playoff experienced team here in the Warriors, minus the 2.5 points. I honestly came into this being like, all right, how can we try and find what not everyone's seeing in the Kings? And I just can't necessarily do it. You can say that, okay, well, the Kings are the more offensive efficient team throughout the year. But, were they? Not really. Like, yeah, I guess at home they were, and then to close out the year they were, but on the season, they were 13th, Warriors 9th, right? And then even from a points per game perspective, like this is a spot in which they were the 9th scoring team. Warriors scored more points than them. Opponent points per game, they were 17th. Warriors were 18th. So all of these things are like head to head, neck and neck. And then it gets down to the point of like, which players would you want? Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, or, De'Aaron Fox, Sabonis, that type of thing. And if we're talking playoffs, we're talking play-in, I almost reluctantly say we obviously want the more experience. So just note that I tried to get to Sacramento. I couldn't do it. So if you guys are on Sacramento, please let me know in the comments. I'd be glad to hear those out and hear your arguments there. And speaking of the comments, guys, make sure you use hashtag ride of the day in the comments. We're doing a ride of the day across both videos today. So only one ride of the day, but I'm going to be picking it either from this video or the last video. And if you don't know what the ride of the day is, you literally just use hashtag ride of the day. And I pick one person's play, jump on board, and then give a shout out in the next video, win or loss. So go ahead and use that in the comments, as you'll let me know why I'm crazy for taking the Warriors, because I could see some people being like, no, De'Aaron Fox, great year, Sabonis, Bob. The team as a whole, very, 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 very neck and neck, to be completely honest here. In terms of what we're looking at from a total perspective, I think a lot of people look at this game, and the public side here is I feel like going to be the over. But I actually like the under. I'm going to wait this line out, because I think a lot of people are going to move this line up with coming in with the over. I like the under a lot. We have two teams that, yes, they had one game in their last 3 each, a cupcake against Portland, but closed out the season, well, 5th best through those games. 5th best team defensive efficiency-wise was the Warriors. 8th best was Sacramento. And Sacramento, last 10 games, closed out the year, playing at the 28th pace, so the 3rd slowest pace. Warriors kind of right in the middle there, but neither one of these teams, like, prolific in transition offense. And transition defense, I wouldn't say is great, right? But if they're not prolific in offense, I don't necessarily see where the easy points come from. And then from a perspective here where you have, we'll start with Golden State on offense and Sacramento on defense. Golden State, really good at shooting from the above the break 3, right? Last 10 games, Sacramento, really good at covering the above the break 3. Golden State, if they're not shooting threes or getting to the rim. Sacramento, pretty damn good at covering the rim. Then you move into the Sacramento on offense versus Golden State here. Sacramento, really good at shooting the above the break 3. Golden State, pretty damn good at defending the above the break 3 in the last 10 games of the season. Same thing with the corner threes as well. And then Golden State's been a good at the rim defense. Even though Sacramento doesn't love to bang and get down there, Golden State's defense has been pretty good around there too. So I don't think easy buckets come here because I just talked about it. Transition, I don't necessarily see happening all that much. Maybe it does. This is playing basketball. Anything can happen. I don't see that happening all that much, but I also don't see any super edge of scoring, right? Like I even went through offensive, defensive efficiencies, points per game, that type of thing. It's like these two teams are very, very similar in a sense. And my lean towards Golden State comes from the experience side of things, but this lean towards the under comes from two players that, you know, fit in a square peg into a circle hole, whatever the hell the saying is. Like, I think that this is going to be an under game. So, yeah, I like that under 223.5. And then from a player prop perspective, one player prop I like is, I think people are sleeping on him because his lines are super low, and I get it. Clay's in the starting lineup for this. The starting lineup is Curry, Thompson, Wiggins, Green, and then TJD. But Brandon Podziemski, over 10.5 points, rebounds, and assists. 10.5 points, rebounds, and assists seems like it could be a good move. His minutes obviously could be a little impacted by the fact that this is a spot in which Clay may get more run, but I can't help but take that value there. For right now on DraftKings at -135, it's -150 over on BetMGM. So Brandon Podziemski is definitely going to be a consideration here for his over PRA. And then if I flash it over here to the OddsJam screen, which, guys, I'll have a link for OddsJam in the pinned comment. You get 25% off if you use code GuyBoston. You need to use code GuyBoston though. But we have 3 player props that we have some serious value on. So here's another one. Player rebounds for Podziemski, right? Over 3.5. This is -1. It's actually even moved, but -140 it was on BetMGM. -169 on most sports books. Let's see if we can refresh this and get any plays here. Harrison Barnes under 13.5 points. That's for plus money over on DraftKings. It is -112 on most other books. Caesars -123, FanDuel -113, -105 on BetMGM, -110 on ESPN. You're getting plus money over on DraftKings, so maybe that's a play we roll with there. Obviously, we still like to, I mean, technically speaking, you should be able to take this and run with it and trust the math, because sports books put a lot of effort into their lines, and any research that we can do, they can do, right? So who's wrong here? DraftKings, clearly. Most other books, and even DraftKings, what is that? No, I mean, some of these other books are better, but we have access to DraftKings here. But who's wrong? Is it all of the other legal sports books, or is it DraftKings? Probably DraftKings. Draymond Green, over 6.5 assists, -110 on MGM. And what do we got here? -126 average odds across books. -142 Caesars, -122 FanDuel, -115, -125. So there's a couple EV plays here on the board that I'm certainly not hating. We can obviously go in and kind of validate those further more to see. But again, guys, that's a great way to bet when it comes to just being profitable overall. Positive EV betting. I'll actually show you my April tracker here on OddsJam. But the negative is that we look at this and it's like, oh yeah, you had a decently bad day last night, right? Down 93, but these are just bet it and forget it type plays using that positive EV screen. $542 up this month. Last month, March, we were up 130. February, we up, I think it was, just under 3. And then January, we had a massive month, 781. This is literally looking at that positive EV screen, refreshing, plugging in my bankroll details and everything like that. So yeah, if you want to check out OddsJam, that link's going to be in the pinned comment. But guys, I do feel so appreciative of what we've accomplished this season and what you've literally given me in terms of support. Like, I think I'm going to make a little shorts video of how many subscribers we were at the beginning of the NBA season, how many, total channel views we were at, and then how many we're at now at the end of the regular season. It's damn good to see. And I know that it makes sense. Like, you look at our recap for the year. I already talked about this in the other video, so that's why I saved this to the end. We're up nearly 64 units on the season. Like, everyone's in the comments being like, give yourself credit. Guys, That's partially luck. Are you kidding me? Like 64 units, best we've done before was like 28, 30 units in our previous seasons here on YouTube. So doubling that is absolutely absurd. We took a lot of flyers on some, plus money plays and whatnot, which is crazy because we were only at 55.54% correctness, right? But the fact that we're up 64 units shows that we had some value and some ROI on some of those plays. So I wanted to say thank you. We put in the work. We're not stopping here. It's still the playoffs, but regular season at a close and starting to play in the playoffs now. Did want to say a big time thank you. So if you made it this far into the video, go ahead and comment 10. That allows me to know that you heard this thank you, and that 10 is, hey, you're welcome, because plenty of people are like, nah, man, you grinded. It's like, no, I'm a dummy with a microphone and a camera. You guys are the ones, the thousands that are tuning in every day to watch. Like, that is what keeps this thing going. You know what I mean? I can show up every single day and I'll do that, but we're growing and growing and growing and making better and better and more content because we're building a great community. So appreciate the hell out of you guys. Keep an eye on the pinned comment for all the final plays, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, peace out.